everybody. So I watched The Social Dilemma last night, and it was really, I don't want to say eye-opening as such, because I think a lot of people already knew or know the kind of topics that they talk about in this documentary, right? That it's not a surprise, but for me it served more as confirmation of what I already believe, and that is that tech companies are most certainly trying to keep you hooked. It's like, I'm 42. I first experienced the internet, I think, in 1996, and I remember the address that my prof told me to visit on the college computer. It was, go to altavista.digital.com, and I was like, okay, what's this? This is a search engine. Oh, okay, that's cool. What's a search engine? And so I, at the time I was 18, yeah, was learning what a search engine was as a young adult. And I didn't have phones, and certainly didn't have my own phone until later than that. So I think I'm lucky, and I think people my age are lucky in that we know what it was like pre-internet, then pre-social media. It's a whole different type of internet. Go into Alta Vista, go into Google, then yielded search results that were just relevant to whatever you searched for. And I don't think geographic location or anything else came in, it was a factor. It just wasn't a factor. But now everything is tailored, and on the surface, tailoring our search results and our news feeds and our trends on the surface seems like a pretty good idea. Like, if, I don't know, the Iranian supreme leader does something daft and trends, well, people in Japan probably don't care. People in Chile probably don't care. So when they go on Twitter, they want to see what's trending in their country or in their continent. And on the surface that makes sense. But, and I don't think it was deliberately designed this way like they said in The Social Dilemma, but it does have an effect of dividing people. Like, the internet was about bringing people together. That's another question, that's another topic. But this is more about separation. So what I see on my Twitter feed and what I see on my news feed is different from what you see on yours. Now that's fine, because what's for you is relevant to you and what's for me is relevant to me. But a guy in The Social Dilemma made a very good example. It's like, when we go to Wikipedia, we all see the same page, assuming it's English, same language. It's all the same page. You don't get your version of a Wikipedia page and I get a different version. So if I go to the Wikipedia page for snow, and I'm sure there is one because there's a Wikipedia page for everything. If you go to the Wikipedia page for snow, I'll read it, you'll read it, and anybody around the world will read it, and we'll all have the same page. Nothing about it will be different. But when it comes to other stuff on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's all curated just for you based on your behavior. So it very much explains to me now that this is why people are so polarised. This is why you're constantly hearing about people going, oh, the right wingers, oh, the left wingers, they're on the left, they're on the right. Because over time, even just the last 10 years, we've been steered that way. And the elephant in the room, which I keep on trying to bring up, and I find a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I firmly believe it, and I firmly believe I'm one of them. And a friend of mine in Scotland once said, a person is smart, but people are stupid. Now I take that one step further, in that the internet came along and everybody got stupid or stupider. Because we're all susceptible to misinformation. We're all susceptible to our own biases. This is why we have governments. This is why we have rules and laws, because we are not very intelligent people. In a mob, in a group, in a country, and on a planet, in a one-to-one basis, we can be reasonable, logical, we can think about it, we can be persuaded this way or that way. But in a group, we are naturally tend towards those who have the same beliefs as us and the same biases as us, and so we gravitate towards those groups. That's why there are so many flat earthers. I mean, in the world of the internet, where we carry around the sum of human knowledge in our pocket, there should be nobody who believes in a flat earth. But there's more people who believe in a flat earth now than there ever was. And it makes sense, but only if you accept that people are stupid. People are stupid. We're all stupid. We're all susceptible to misinformation, and that, by the way, includes marketing. And I took a marketing course in university and I hated every minute of it. But looking back on it, I'm glad I took it, and I wish they did more, because, a lot of the tricks that happen in marketing, I mean, that's their job. Marketers are in conference rooms, in design studios, tweaking and adjusting everything, every little detail, to get you to buy what they're selling. And a good marketer will do that, because they know you are susceptible to it. And because you think you're not susceptible to it, we think we're not susceptible to it, that when we go buy that product off the shelf, or even an opinion off a Facebook page, we think it was our choice to do so. Part of it might be our choice, but we're not that smart. And who has the time? You know, that's the other. Who has the time to weigh up every time you buy a product? You don't go, well, who designed this product? What are they actually trying to get? I mean, it's not that complicated. It's usually they just want money. But we have to accept that we're all vulnerable to that. We all are. I am, you are. We're all vulnerable to it. And self-responsibility and self-choice and freedom of choice, I feel like, exists, but it doesn't exist as completely as many people think it does. We're vulnerable. We're vulnerable more than we might think. And it's scary, because it creates division and polarization. And look at the state of the world now. I mean, and I'm not just talking about what's happening in like the States, I'm talking about all over the world. Populism, right wing, left wing. It's scary. And this documentary really helped pin that down, that it was all by design. All this stuff was by design, but it wasn't evil. It isn't evil. I don't think. I don't think Facebook's evil. They just want you to be engaged longer, and their algorithms tweak and adjust things in such a way that they know that you will stay on a page longer, or go this way or go that way. You check out a flat earth group, it will suggest more flat earth groups. It then knows that if you're susceptible to reading about the flat earth, there'll be some other stuff that they'll fire at you. And before you know it, you're shooting up a pizza joint because you think Hillary's running a paedophile ring in there. I mean, it's an amazing documentary, and it's an important documentary. I wish it'd come out 5 years ago. But is it going to make any difference? I don't know. I don't know. On its own it won't, but we need to talk about it. It needs to be out there. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. This is my Muzz's random ramble. I don't know what I'll call this video. There it is. I hope if you liked that documentary, or if you've got something to talk, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Am I wrong? I may well be wrong. That's the other important lesson. You can change your mind. Everybody's allowed to be wrong. I've been wrong a million times. I have my political stances today. 5 years they may change, because the facts change, the world changes around us. It's okay to change your mind. For those of you who feel polarized, or feel firmly on the right or firmly on the left, it's okay to go, you know what, I think the other side might be right this time. Just about that. Otherwise, we're headed to a very dark place. Got dark real quick, didn't it? I'm going to end it there. See ya.